Hey there! You're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with Vlllagers. This is a game by the development company called Bumblebee. It's available on Steam, came out just a few days ago, and I am bringing it here to you on the channel because it is so fun. It's a cute, adorable city building game, has a very nice little story campaign mode that we are going to play through in this episode. So, let's make sure everything is set up correctly. And the game, I highly recommend that you go out and get it because it's currently 15% off as of this recording. And but even at regular price, it's very reasonably priced. And the development company is a very small indie developer, and so supporting their games is always really good for keeping new and fresh content coming to our gaming community. Okay, let's head into the campaign. Chapter 1, A New Beginning. So this first episode will be a lot of reading as we establish the story, and then later on we'll get into gameplay towards the mid part of the episode. Let's head on in. I suggest that you get a warm cup of the drink of your choice and cozy on in and prepare to dive into the world of Vlllagers with me. This is a cute little story that how the game and the campaign starts out. This is the story of Jessa, a young woman who managed to shine a ray of hope into a pitch black tunnel of despair at a time when war and illness ruled a world filled with darkness. If you are playing this game and you want to skip and head right into the gameplay, you can click this little X button up here and that will take you there. Nasty winds blew around her, strong winds of pungent adversities. There's one thing I cannot stand. It's a pungent adversity. Pewee. Trying to extinguish the light. Even when Jessa couldn't see in the darkness, was almost blind, she always laid her hand successfully around the flame. Yay! The pictures over here are really interesting, really nice line drawings on this side. Sometimes, so close, she was in danger of burning. She was but a child. Ursel says, "What's wrong, Jacqueline? Why don't you continue?" Jacqueline, it's a shame to admit, being the writer I am, but I am lost for words. Really, we cannot accept this. Let's do something about it. Host, bring us a bottle of your best wine. Ursel, are you trying to soften me with this devilish alcohol? Perhaps. We agreed to celebrate today. Let's treat ourselves to something special. Delicious. Where was I? The sickness. Hey! What do you mean the sickness of Jessa? Actually, if you can hear in my voice, I actually am recovering from a nasty bout of bronchial infection. So I may cough a bit during this episode. I'll try always to mute the mic. Let me start a long time ago, back in our heroine's childhood. She had a little brother with whom she lived in the countryside. Jessa was as little as 2 stacked boots. Ew! And I was so cute. My little hair was done up in little piglets. That sounded wrong. Pigtails. Not piglets. Anyway, and I was running around and I was like, "Daddy, Daddy," and I was just all nappy-headed. She had a little brother with whom she lived in a tiny settlement far away in a rural area. Her parents took care of them well, providing them with prey from the woods. They paid great attention to making their children learn to survive the cruel wilderness. So I believe that this game, the developers may be German. The game comes in 2 localities, I believe, German and English. I could be wrong on that, but we'll see in the options. So sometimes the writing, you can tell, is written by someone whose English may not be their first language. One day they went out hunting with their father. However, the children couldn't concentrate and began to argue, which led to a terrible accident. No. Their father, annoyed by his children squabbling and feeling the pressure of having to provide a meal for his family, accidentally stepped into his own trap, dying a terrible death. Jessa, filled with fear and terror, fled the scene and ran into the forest, while her brother returned to the settlement. Oh, look at her go! Oh, no! Oh, it looks like it was a spike trap. Oh, and there's his arm right there. That's horrible. Neither of them have seen each other since that fateful day, and Jessa even forgot his name. I did? Oh. It's all very sad, says Ursel. Jacqueline says, that may be, but it turned out well for Jessa in the end. The runaway child was found and taken in by farmers a few days later and placed far away from her home, and spent her remaining childhood there. Oh, there's the farmer who looks suspiciously like Jesus. Maybe there's an allegory there. And there's poor Jessa hiding under the leaves, all cold, having lived on something and nuts and berries or something. I don't know. Jessa was plagued by a guilty conscience, which she tried to atone through hard work. I hear you, sister. She was convinced that she could only undo her sins by doing good deeds. Angel wings. Jessa was self-educated from very early on and taught herself a great many skills. Every time she paid a visit to a big city, she used every chance she got to talk to its inhabitants and gain more knowledge. Okay, so either this is me, right here, and I've gained a whole lot of weight, or this is me right here, and I've adopted a penguin named Opus. I think it's the latter. I have a little penguin farmhand. The farmers recognized her potential and put her in charge of managing the farmyard as soon as she was old enough. I think we should talk a little bit about the war. The war? By the way, I love your hair. Who does your hair? It's great. Anyway. Oh yes, the war. So many faded memories that we literally had to bury. One day it simply broke out without warning and without any prior political negotiations. An enemy whom they soon came to call the Faceless. If you've been watching the XCOM playthrough, there's a faceless enemy there. And I really hope it's not the same type of enemy as here, because the Faceless and XCOM are horrible. Yeah. Okay. Evil guys. Invaders from the northeast. Blast those northeasters. All wearing the same bizarre metal masks and coming from countries that previously only our boldest explorers had ever seen. Without thinking much about his strategy, our king sent his troops out to blindly attack the enemy. It helps if you take the blindfolds off. The losses were devastating, and we seemed to be no match for the enemy. Every available man was called up to fight as a soldier. Every boy that was able to hold a weapon was sent to the front line. The king rejected all dissenting voices. Nay, dissent no more regarding this harsh decision of his. Word quickly spread about his plans, and many families fled. Not only did they want to put as much distance as they could between themselves and the war, they also did not want to lose their men to the fires of battle. I love this guy back here. He's getting ready to take on everybody. Luckily, there were a few dukes who were opposed to the king's decision and who decided to protect the people as best they could. And that brings us to Albrechtus. Who's Albrechtus? Oh yes, Duke Albrechtus. Not exactly the most trustworthy person in the world. Initially, he was unwilling to lay his cards on the table, but when he turned up at Jessa's farmyard one day, he did not hesitate to assert his authority. Look at him right there. And Jessa's like, oh yeah, I ain't having none of that. The devious, sleazy, and condescending man claimed he had been sent on behalf of the king to gather up all available men in the area. He made a big display of authority, entering people's houses and having them searched, and that's when he came across Jessa's sketches. Oh yes, the famous sketches. Jessa had to save a lot of money to be able to afford parchment and charcoal, but she had spent day and night designing complex cities. I had. Running the farm had inspired her to do great things, and her ideas were not as absurd as one might have thought. After conducting extensive discussions with architects and planners living in the big city, Jessa designed technically feasible settlements. Your settlement is very technically feasible, madam. Villages, and yes, even entire cities. Bum-ba-da-dum. Jessa was talented, and although the king's orders were clear, this gave Albrechtus pause. He had a suggestion for her. He said, "You may be surprised to find I have heard of you before, Jessa." That's Albrechtus. He's kind of deep and kind of dour like that. Just checking out this image over here. A young maiden with an extraordinary talent for city planning, although she has never learned from a master. Well, I know. Go on. Don't ask me how I know about you, but please, I'd like you to consider the following deal. I'm listening. Take all people from this farm and your direct neighbors in the area with you and build a self-sufficient settlement within a year. I don't care how or where you do it. Really? You intrigue me, Albrechtus. If you manage to do it, I will recommend you to the king as a city planner. After all, when the war is over, we will need people like you to help rebuild the country, provided we win, of course. And in keeping with my generosity, I will ensure that your men are excluded from being called up. However, if you fail, I will immediately revoke all protection. Well, this is quite the offer to consider. Jessa felt numb. I can't feel my legs. Suddenly, all eyes were on her, and the lives of many people were depending on her reply. Still can't feel my legs. Well, what did Jessa decide? She was unable to utter a word, but gave the Duke her hand, who took it gladly with a gleeful grin on his face. The deal was sealed. Aha! Here we are. Looking at a desktop. These are dark times, which is why you should view this opportunity as a particularly precious one, Albrechtus informs us. I envy you for it. How I wish sometimes that I could be a simple laborer and make a home for myself, rather than helping rule the world with the leaders of the world. Jacqueline tells us that Albrechtus departed, and thus Jessa found herself in a most peculiar situation. Suddenly, she had a responsibility that she had neither asked for nor was she ready to bear. I can bear it. Fate was obviously putting her to the test once more, despite her having already suffered so much in childhood. Yeah, but I've been to therapy. I'm really over that. Albrechtus is demanding that this virginal land... in front of me becomes a settlement. But where on earth should I start? With terms like that, it's really hard to keep the content family friendly. I try, though. He may as well have asked me to make... He may as well have asked me to get a couple of porcupines to mate. And you know what a prickly situation that is. All right then, concentrate. We need a central place for planning the city. A roof over our heads from where I can allocate jobs to people. I've said this numerous times over the years on the channel. If you're new to watching, welcome. But I swear, I just crack myself up. I just do it. I don't even care if anybody's laughing. Most of the time, people aren't. I'm just goofy. Can't help it. Something new is available. Town Hall. Your village's main building. First stock and prerequisite for additional buildings. So we can't build anything until we have a place to gather. So let's take a look at our land. So you can see here that it's laid out like a map. And I'm going to scroll. I'm actually going to right mouse click to make them go away so we can see the whole map. What have we got here? It's quite nice. Little, very nice, a little bluff area over here. So I have played through the first part of this. We are in, I think, chapter 1. So I've played through, I believe, most of chapter 1. Placing your town hall near the big river. Place your town hall near the big river. Okay. And we need a nearby water source, so that's really important. Let's get our town hall. And it looks like there's a spot just waiting for us. Ah, perfect. But actually, I'm going to move it a little bit back to right about there. Now, I think you can turn the building like so. So I'm going to put it right there. Introducing our villagers. As they walk 2 by 2 or... There they go. Looks like there's 2 couples and they're very, very attached to each other because they're literally walking like that right on top of each other. And it's neat. You can click on the villagers and get an overview of them. This is Martin, age 19. The Alexandra family. I think you start out with 3 couples. And our hardy villagers make their way with Queen Jessa on her horse following, saying something queenly. So, we are here at our town building, and they will begin to build. Let's see who else we have here.
The building is finished.
They're fast. Look at that. So they're all a bit troubled though, because they don't have a home. That's what that goes. So they're sleeping on the ground. I'm beat. And I love it. They're sleeping in a long line like that. It's just our townspeople are very, very, very deeply connected and love each other very, very much. My dear friend, a workman like me can only help you if you give me a job. All right, your job shall be my official shoe shiner. Okay, you don't like that job. My friends and I will be in the town hall awaiting your orders. Wait. No, I'm sorry, not wait. Ewald. We've known each other since we were children. I'm so pleased to have a familiar face on my side. This is me, Jessa. Look at me. I'm a looker. Although I kind of pictured myself, I don't know, perhaps darker of tone and nappier of fro. But heck, it'll do. Oh, come on. There's no need to get sentimental. Just tell me what we're supposed to do with the resources. Oh, Ewald, don't be like that. I love you. Don't forget, we laborers are the only ones who will carry them to the building site for you, and we can build whatever you like with them. My head is already spinning, and we've barely done anything yet. If only I had something to write this information down on. Because, you know, I'm really together, and we packed our bags with everything we might possibly need, except for some paper. We have everything we need to build a town hall like this, complete with windows and everything, but we kind of whoopsied on the paper. Okay, so I should be in the oh, we have a new person to the story, Schulteis. I should be in this forest, ramming my sharp blades into wild animals and carrying them home for supper. Instead, Albrechtus has sent me to this delicate maiden. Hey, I'm not a delicate maiden. Who probably can't even spell the word city planner. Hey! I can spell city planner. K-I-Q... Ugh. The Duke sent you? You look like a hunter, not a city planner. Well, yes, sir, I am a hunter. Watching a child playing at being an architect isn't exactly a fulfilling alternative as to the thrill of the hunt. And as for taking notes... A robust notebook with a leather case. Is that for me? How generous. For me, you shouldn't have. From then on, Jessa wrote everything in her notebook, which we're going to see up here. An excellent method, which I cannot recommend enough, says Jacqueline. I've got to hand it to you, Jessa. You're a master at casting your followers back into the bleak and barbaric time of the Dark Ages. Hey! What is this, Insult the Queen Day? You've even managed to outdo the bandit baron Acarius. Uh-oh. Acarius. Dun, 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 dun. You mean the terrible Acarius? Dun, 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 dun. Be patient, my love. We'll get to that spawn of Satan later on in our story. Oh, I'm mad. Jacqueline's taken by Ursuline. I thought Jessa and Jacqueline could get something going on and make a bunch of little J babies. What are we talking about, Ewalt? Has the fresh air got to your head? It most certainly has, and that's how everyone else who's been forced to sleep outside feels too. We need somewhere to live. We need homes. You should start building houses. Immediately. We need wood to do that. I'm sure we can help ourselves to wood from the forest. As long as wild animals don't help themselves to us, oh dear. Without a doubt, Jessa had to spend lots of time managing resources. However, using the gathering symbols, she could keep an eye on everything. The gathering symbols. Sounds like a coven. That word, bugger it, I'll save my breath. For example, Jessa had to tell her people that they had to get resources like wood. Indeed, using the gathering symbols, dun, 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 it was easy for her to give orders. The laborers then immediately commenced their new task.
New quest.
Yay! So something new is available. Gather wood. Whoop! You can go out with your mouse and gather on trees here. All you have to do is just grab them like this. You can also hold down the shift key and make your circle bigger or smaller. So we're going to tell the villagers to gather all the wood over here. So let's see how they respond. Oh, to deselect the tool, just click the right mouse button. Okay, so Mira. Look at her. She's not taking anything from that tree. She's like, oh no, you're going down. I love it. The women are just getting in there. No sexism here. They're like, we're taking it. All of this, it's ours. Shall be ours. We shall build a metropolis. Okay, so that means we can now take a look at our journal. We have felled trees, 0 of 20. 1 of 20, that's cool, just when it went down. Okay, we need a settlement. Ewalt needs wood to build it. There are a few cryptic notes in Benlin's notebook. Benlin has not yet been introduced to the story. Let's see, it says here under gather, I can gather wood. All I need to do is hold down my left mouse button and select the trees I want with the circle that appears. Very easy. So while that's going on, we'll take a look at the rest of the area here. Here's fresh fish. So far, the graphics look pretty good. You're getting some jagged edges along the rivers here. I have the graphics set to ultra. It's running smoothly at a 60 frames per second with no hiccups or anything I've noticed thus far, but we're still early days. When your village gets big, that's when you find out if you're going to have hiccups. But so far, it looks great. Trees are nice. I love the little concept of it being a map on a table. That's cool. So, we're going to come in here and taking a look at our villagers. I'm going to move this to 2x. This game has a few reviews on Steam that are mostly positive. It does, of course, get likened to Banished, a game that came out about 2 years ago, city building game. And I'm actually not finding it to be much like Banished, besides the fact that they're just similar, same genre. But the people, first of all, the villagers are a lot more lively. They dance, they do different things. They'll head off, get water. They'll actually show animations of drinking. They've really taken effort to make the villagers look or be a little bit more individual and more interesting to watch. Also, I'm finding that this game is more story focused, which is definitely my thing. And you see neat little touches here, like the light comes on at dusk. That's neat. But I'm definitely finding it to be more story focused, rather than I found Banished to be a little bit more focused on the numbers and the management. I felt more like an administrator of a village rather than creating a little story through the village. So, Ewalt has popped up here to let us know something. Jessa, this wood from the forest is strong and resilient. I like your enthusiasm. Let's find a place for it. We've got plenty of solid ground and land where you can build houses for everyone. Yay, houses! Because, as you can see, our villagers are rather without a house. Now, this amuses me because there's an entire town hall here. You could sleep inside. You know, it looks very cozy. I just noticed something when you zoom into the town hall. You can hear voices when you zoom out. That's a neat touch. And there's even a clock telling us, going around with the time. It's pretty neat. I like that. And that's one of the things that I saw that led me to be interested in bringing the game to the channel for you, is the details that really make something come alive when you're playing it. Anyway, Ewok continues, but let's make one thing clear. I don't want to live too close to the edge of the forest. The thick woodland gives me the feeling I'm being watched by something evil.
You have finished a quest.
It doesn't matter whether you're big or small, strong or weak, or as smart as a whip or as dumb as a box of rocks. At the end of the day, everyone is conquered by this one simple thing. A piece of wisdom from a foolish bard. Please enlighten us. The answer is hunger. When your stomach is rebelling, there's no way of thinking straight. It looks like we already have some food sources, though. We didn't bring any paper, but we did bring some ham hocks and some cheese. Because let's keep it real, that's what it's really about. Okay, so there's no way of thinking straight. My stomach. I should have brought food with me. My somewhat modest hunting skills have withered and died. Seeing as I haven't used them over the past few years. There's a small typo there. I just need to mute the mic occasionally to cough. As you can tell, I'm recovering from a lung infection. Finally, something for me to do. Neither you nor your laborers can carry out work on empty stomachs. I'll show you how to pull big fish out of the lake. I like that. You weren't sent by the Duke. You've been sent from heaven. Ah! Before we get to that, though, you need a jetty. Oh, I knew it's always something.
New quest.
We have enough wood. We have enough wood to build a jetty. You just need to tell us where it should go. I point imperiously from my horse in the direction of the river. Well, that's easy. The jetty needs to be built by the water. Please don't forget to allocate the job of fishermen and the town hall.
New quest.
All right, so we have a fishing jetty here. I found out that these are actually oh, well, never mind. The last time I tried to place that when I was playtesting this, I could not get it to place well. But that was very easy. So we can dive in, get a jetty there. I like that you can also really zoom in. Because, I mean, that's half the fun of putting your village together, is just seeing, for example, what Akina, or Akalina, wonderful name, was doing. She went and had a snack at the town hall. She's troubled by having no home. Well, so would I. So it looks like we should be able to. We need 20 wood to build a small house. So as soon as we have enough, we'll put a house down. So it's very tempting, of course, to want to do everything in straight lines. And I don't know about roads and whatnot yet, whether you can build them the way you can in city skylines, where you can curve them and whatnot. I hope so. But I'll do my best to give us a very hamlet, villagey feel without, instead of a sort of New York City feel. We'll place houses sort of organically, as they would be placed if we were building them, like we are, from scratch. Place on the shoreline with the ramp and the boat still on land. Scroll to rotate, which I did not need to do because it was just fine the way it was. At this point, once it's built, Horst is earning his living. You can scroll over the question marks here, and it will tell you what people are up to, the person's partner, which is really neat. Their happiness. So far, people are happy, saturated. And, oh, look! That's the first time I saw that. Look, it's a, something. What is that? I haven't seen any animals before. Unfortunately, we're probably going to end up killing it and cooking it over the spit, but... Oh, no, that's a bunny rabbit. Yeah. Wow. Really cute. So, I'm hoping to see more animals coming in so we can slaughter them. Ah, yeah, another one over here. Hello, little bunny rabbit. How you doing? You're so cute. I bet you're tasty. Okay, so I might have to make a new decree that we all become vegans so that we don't kill all the little bunny rabbits. Everybody's working here. 15 to go, so I'm gonna speed up the time here. See if we can get 20 wood. And up here is the calendar. It's autumn. Winter is coming in 18 days. And at night, our villagers lay down and go to sleep in weird, long, very close and comfortable lines. I suppose it's for warmth, let's put it that way. They're taking forever, where our wood is not getting over 15. But this is a waiting game. Let's take a look at our journal. Build a jetty, we're working on that. Build 3 houses, and we're working on that.
Finished.
To assign villagers to a profession, click on your town hall and click the plus button of the specific profession. Incredibly large, immensely powerful, inconceivably magnificent. Oh, my hair, do you like it? I love it. I just had it done. Oh, are you talking about your ego? What codswallop? That's a great word. One of these days I'm just gonna get really mad and just say, you know what, codswallop? And that'll just end the argument right there. Because no one will know what to say. Because how do you follow that? Like, how do you argue with that? You can't. I'm describing the fish that I'm going to pull out of the water when the new jetty is built. Send me 2 villagers from the town hall and we'll catch a feast to remember. Okay. To Jessa's relief, phew, people were independent enough that once allocated, they continued carrying out their jobs until she reallocated them. I'm sorry, Jacqueline, I'm going to have to reallocate you. Something one cannot always say about you, Jacqueline. My apologies for the pauses. I am pausing to cough. Okay, so. Excuse me? Oh, nothing. Giggle.
New quest.
To assign villagers to profession. Okay, so let's click here. We have a fisherman, and I think he asked for 2. So let's do that. And we have finished a quest. Yay. There's weather and whatnot. We have 2 people. Martin is assigned to fish. And this person over here is assigned to... Oh, look with it. But we still have a problem. Oh, 45? Wow. It went from 15 to 45 really quickly. Okay, so we should place close to the town center. You can move your mouse like this to scoot the houses around. I'm going to put mine just like there. Let's zoom in. This shall be my home, and I shall call it Queen Fort Jessa. That's terrible. But I think we should call our town Jessavile, unless you can think of a better name, which I'm sure, absolutely positive, that pretty much anyone could. So let me know what you think, what our town should be named. And also, as I had mentioned, this game is available on Steam. As always, I encourage you to play the game along with me. Oh, look, he's dancing. That's cute. Well, people have to relax. Yay, our first house is done. Let's put down the next one. Because I'm demanding, and I feel like you shan't have any sleep. Okay, so we'll put this here. And we might... Nope, we don't. We're missing 20, so... Second house right there. One of the things that, I'm really hoping, as I'd mentioned, that the game has... Oh, look at everybody sleeping out in the rain. That's so depressing. It's so funny how they just sort of sleep on top of each other. And they have little Z's. So cute. As I'd mentioned, one of the things that I was really hoping for, is to be able to build... One of the difficulties with a lot of city builders is that you end up, no matter how hard you try, with the same looking village, city, or town as everyone else. This game has not got a modding community. I don't know if you can mod it. I don't think so. So you are limited to the types of buildings that you can get. You can improve your building, add an extension on. But one of the ways that you can create some creativity is with the way that you put the roads, and where you can put your sort of town buildings, and whether you can make curvy roads and that kind of stuff. So we'll see how the game does. Here's a fisherman coming by. All those fish waiting for us to have our first feast. Boy, what a dreadful winter it is as far as the rain is concerned. Very nice to get our houses up. So, Ewald is telling us that we finally have some place to live. Now, if you'll excuse me, my wife and I have a family to start. The first time I read that, I thought it was really funny. Like, that's how you just end a conversation. I'm sorry, we have to leave the party. We have a family to start. Whoa, you sure are in a hurry, my friend. Well, the stars in my private life are aligned at the moment. A man's got to seize his opportunities where he can and know where he can produce his most fertile juices. What? Okay, that's disgusting. I really, really am not interested in hearing about your fertile juices. Seriously. Oh goodness, that was a little bit too much information. What do you mean? Sure, you haven't got any more baby-making secrets to tell me, Jacqueline. Oh, I see. Ursul's flirting. She's a little flirt. Well, now I'll save that delicate topic for the colder seasons of the year. Let's say storks deliver babies. And if you saw in the main menu, a stork was going along, and that is true. Here, storks deliver babies. Villagers will now move into houses with their partners where they will reproduce, store food, and generally be happier. I hope not. I mean, I hope so. We're not going to have any of that domestic violence and the cops showing up. None of that stuff. So, houses are being built. So I'll say that I live in the town hall. Like right here, that's my bedroom.
The building is finished.
Excellent. Villagers, yep, you already told us that. Thank you. So, is there a greater pleasure in life for a man than building his own house? We're on the second house already. We're making progress, Jessa. Yay. Okay, let's put down... Well, let's not put down. Waiting for some more stones. 17. 19. One more. That's what I like to see. Efficiency, people. Efficiency. One little complaint I have is that it would be nice for me to be able to zoom in. I know while you're zooming out, they zoom you out so you can kind of get an overview, but sometimes I want to zoom in and get a closer look. I'll have to look and see if there's a way to do that. So, I would like to put you just here. But I'm going to turn you a bit so you face the other houses. At least I think that's the way I'm doing it. I probably have the doors all facing the wrong way. Do I? Yes, I do. Look at that. Well, everybody's got an ocean. Look, everybody's got a river view. That's how it is, except for this guy. He's really mad, and he's looking at his real estate agent. He's kind of ticked off. But anyway, yeah, I should have had them all. I wanted them all facing this little area here. So, I can actually cancel this building. I don't know if that wastes any wood or not. Does it? Oh, there's wood right there. It's cool. We'll try another one. It's hard to tell. Hope I'm not about to do it again. Just saw space here. Looks like it's not letting me put it right on top of the wood. Let's see. Perhaps that'll do better. I wonder if they'll come. Oh, yeah, they do. They're picking up that wood. That's cool. Where are you going with that wood? Where are you going with that? Back here. So, our 2 Riverview houses are ready. Let's take a look at the journal, see how we're doing. 2 of 3. And we're on 5 speed. The speed goes up as fast as 10. Fish is being gathered. Let's take a look and see. Oh, you can see the fish.
The building is finished.
That's cool, hanging here. Perfect. A small house, but lots of peace and quiet. I think we've built enough houses for the moment. We should have a rest. Absolutely, I'm in complete agreement. Just have a cup of tea there, or a sip of tea. Look at that, beautiful. So it worked out okay because everybody got a nice front door ocean view. So we head on to a new part of the story. We have a town hall, a jetty, some food, and a roof over our heads. That's certainly a start. We're definitely going to have a party tonight. To be honest, it's more than I expected. A young maid organizing a whole village. Well, we live in an age where I would never have thought it possible, and it's certainly not something you see every day. It's time to set your preconceptions aside, my good man Schulteis. I know how to use my head just like every other person, I say haughtily. You know what, Ursula? Jessa has failed me. What? No, I haven't. I made 3 houses and a jetty and fishies. I didn't make them, but I caught them. What are you talking about? I don't feel like continuing my story. I need something to wet my whistle. Look at him. He's all ticked off. Quick, bring this man a flagon of ale. A grumpy writer needs a drink to be able to tell a decent story. And of course, Jessa did it. The foundations of a new village had been laid. I've got to say, I like this woman. Why, thank you. Thank you very much. And I love how you do your hair. Oh, yes, I've got a soft spot for her. Oh, Jacqueline, I thought always that you didn't care. Oh, not in the way that you think, though. Hey, I thought we had something going on. Yeah, hush up. Every day should start with a happy song. Ah, it helps to clear your vocal cords and your soul. Shake off the burdens that dreams have laid upon your shoulders in the night. Well, that's a piece of wisdom you must know about as a bard. Even Jessa sang that morning. La. The song was sung timidly, la, with great embarrassment at first, but her heart commanded it. Her heart said, "Sing, Damio, sing." Happiness flowed through her body until she stumbled upon the old and thoroughly grumpy Benlin. Oh, it's you, Benlin. Yeah, Benlin. You know how he is. I have no idea how he is, but we're going to find out. In the next episode, Benlin will come into the story. We're going to save this episode here. Call this one episode 01 and save it here and head out to the main menu so that I might say to you that I am so glad you joined us. Yay! For Vlllagers. This game, as I mentioned, again, is available on Steam. There's a link in the description of every video for this series. I'll head you right over there. It's 15% off now, so please head on over and buy this game. If you buy it, let me know. Support the independent developers who bring us great content at great toil. And as always, if you enjoyed this, you can hit the thumbs up button below. And if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. I'll see you back here for more Vlllagers in Jessavile. Unless you can think of a better name. There's a store code, by the way, that I told you. And Jessavile in the next episode. And as always, thank you so much for watching. chicken. Look at the little chicken.